So, are you all familiar with Zom-B by Darren and Shan?
Alewison's randomness, hey!
Right. So this is the first book in a series of 12. So far he's written 10 books, so they're up to Zombie Bride, but I'm just going to be reviewing the first book today. So my thoughts on this book is that it was exciting. This one didn't have very many zombies in it until at the end. So she came from a background where she was always being beaten up by her dad, and her mum was also being beaten up, and her dad was quite racist. He didn't approve of her best friend because he was a different colour. Her dad didn't sound very nice, but it's just this book's sort of going through the life before the whole virus takes over and the zombies take over. But I think it's written in a very good sort of it's written like there and then. It's not like a diary of like the past. It's like you're following the story through their eyes, and you're on the journey with them, and you experience all the horrors at the same time. Things, and then at the end of this book it's like, oh my goodness, are you joking? You know, it's like a lot of things in this book, it's like trying to trick you and make you think one thing and then you're like afterwards, but it is, you know, it's just kind of, it's good. Can you love a bullying racist thug if he's your father? How do you react when confronted with your darkest inner demon? What do you do when zombies attack? It was the darkest, most wretched hour of the night when the dead came back to life and spread like a plague of monstrous locusts through the village of Palasconry. The luckier victims were slaughtered in their sleep, their skulls ripped open, their brains devoured. The others suffered a far more terrible fate. The living and the undead shared the village for a short, frantic time, but it was a balance made in hell, and it could not last. One side would surely wipe out the other, as the demented, demonic beasts tore into their unsuspected prey, killing or infecting. It soon became apparent that this was a war the living had never been destined to win. Brian Barry watched sickly as his mother dug through the shredded remains of her husband's face to scoop out his brains. Mum had often joked about killing Brian's dad, on nights when he had stumbled home from a local pub, or when he wouldn't shut up about football. Brian and his dad had always laughed when she made her outlandish threats, but neither was laughing now. Brian couldn't understand how the world had changed so abruptly. It had been an ordinary Sunday night. He'd watched some TV, finished his homework just before going to bed, and settled down for a night of sweet dreams before another school week kicked off. Screams had disturbed his slumber. Brian wasn't a light sleeper, but even the dead were unable to sleep. Biology, one of the few classes where I pay attention, not because I'm fascinated by the digestive system of the worm, give me strength, but because I like the teacher, Mr. Burke. Burke impressed me. The first day he walked in his class and said, I know most of you couldn't give a toss about biology, but if you don't give me any grief, I'll do my best to make it interesting for you. Burke's the best of our teachers, maybe the only really good one that we have. I don't know what he's doing in this dump. He should be at a private school, like the one Vanille went to. He's wasted here, stuck with mugs like Myths and Grey, and yeah, I can admit it, me. Thank you for watching my book review this week. Thank you for watching Alewison this week, where we reviewed Zom-B. Tune in next week for another book review.